Okay, so I'm gonna make my own little power station, I guess you could say, for the Sienna project. So this is a 280 amp hour battery. This thing is really, really small for a 280 amp hour. It looks more like a big 100 amp hour. 280 amp hours is a pretty powerful battery. So that will sit inside of that back little cubby storage area in the far back, the recessed area the third row seats would normally sit in. And I've done this many times before, but I am going to kind of make this in two parts. So the battery has an Anderson plug there. And of course, I have the corresponding Anderson plug. I'm still wiring a few things up on that. That will connect up from underneath there. And then on top of the battery, I made this box. This is just 1/2-inch plywood. These little standoffs in the middle make the top part of the box stand up above the post, which of course stick up like that. And then this just kind of sits right over the battery, just kind of like a little hat. It can move around a little bit, but when this is in the van, I'll have a strap over the top. And then what will happen is when I go to attach this, so I'm going to call this the head unit. This is essentially where all the components are going to mount. The Anderson plug will hook up from underneath. Of course, it will be recessed up in the box a little bit. And then I will have the two bus bars. I've got the positive right here. They'll probably sit something like that side by side. On the front here, I am going to put my 1500 watt inverter. On the top, because I'll have enough real estate up here to the top to do stuff, is I am going to throw my dual solar charge controllers. I've got another one somewhere, but my breaker for these, break circuit protection, but it also allows me to shut them. All right, guys, so I think I have all the components attached. Of course, the next step will be to start to wire everything. So I've got the opposite side Anderson plug done, so that will clip in underneath here. And we got a couple things here. We have the shunt. This is for the battery monitor, so I know my voltage and all that kind of thing. One side is for the negative coming from the battery, and I believe it's this one. And this side is goes to the bus bar. And the positive side is going to come up around here. I'll attach it nice and neat up in here, and it will come into this 100 amp fuse, or it's a breaker, and then it will come back out through these holes and connect in with the positive bus bar. I like using these breakers like this because it offers circuit protection, but also if I wanted to shut off the main system, these have a little button. So it's kind of like a switch and circuit protection all in one. Now up here, and these are all accessible, we've got our two solar charge controllers. We'll have the solar connectors coming out to connect to the various sources. The wires for this will come and plug directly into the bus bar also. And then what I did up here is I put this block of hardwood and I drilled a couple holes. And it's a little hard to explain here, but I'll show you guys when I get it installed. This will actually bolt to the side of the bed platform, and that will hold this in place. All right, so we got all the wires attached. I've went over it about 3 times already, so I won't go into it, but got wires attached, added some extra conduit there in places where different things crossed. I got all the solar inputs right here. I got them just kind of bundled up and tucked to the side. I put an extra long lead. I'm not sure exactly how the solar coming in from the roof and all the other sources will direct in there, but giving it a big line or distance here will give me plenty to work with. I'll also do a test run on this. I'll hook up some solar to it and just make sure it works before I get it all set up in the van. But yeah, I thought it turned out pretty neat. And got our Anderson plug on there. So yep, just like that, they snap together. As you guys can see right here, I've got a little bit of extra cord. And so that snaps into the Anderson plug down there. And then there's a little pocket back underneath here. So the Anderson plug sits concealed down in there, nice and tidy. And then this will just sit in the van like this. I think you guys will like how clean it is when it sits in there. Kind of walk around. All right, so I did a couple more updates on the interior. Last week you guys saw that I got all the cabinets back there, so that's been done. But what I have done in addition is, let's come over here and take a look at the kitchen area here. So I got this little table that folds up. So if you're sitting in the couch here, this is wide angle, so it's a little distorted, but maybe that's better. But you know, you got a little table to do whatever from. And that just folds down like that. Porta potty goes in that little cavity down there. I did something that I did in the trailer build last, which I really liked. And I just took a piece of 1/4-inch plywood, wrapped it in that duck canvas, and used a little shock cord here. And that serves as a door. It's real simple. It might seem kind of like a bit of a cop-out, I guess you might say, but I really like it. It works really, really well. It's pretty easy to take off. I think it looks nice. It's thin. Having something that was thin was important because of some of the clearances when the bed extends here. And it's just a simple working solution. The rest of the storage space I'm going to leave open. I talked about that when I did my trailer build. You know, yeah, I get it. It might not look as tidy as having a door on there, but just in a small space and from a functionality standpoint, I just prefer the open cabinets. For now, I'm not going to put a shock cord across. In the trailer, you know, I was really surprised. I drove around a lot and some dirt roads and stuff, and nothing really bounced out. You know, of course, I've got a little lip here. Yeah, we'll just play that one by ear. And then, of course, I got the sink in. And if you guys recall from last week when I was talking about the cabinetry build, I talked about how I recessed it there. So you guys can see that little, the sink actually extends a little bit into this cubby right here. And I did just something I always do. I found they started making these. These are meant to like attach to the top of a 5-gallon, like a Sparkletts water container kind of thing. And it's just a pump, faucet, and battery all in one. And then they started selling them with this little base, which, you know, I actually kind of like. So I just used some VHB or V8 or whatever, the double stick tape there, and attach that there. We'll go back and take a look at the plumbing in one moment. Yeah, let's go do that. So this is the driver's side door. So you open this up, and this is the back side of that cabinet I was just showing you. And, you know, I kept it real simple. I have no back on the space where this cubby's at, and that's on purpose. I'll have kitchen stuff in there, and I just want to have quick access to both sides. The water, you know, just a 5, or is this 6? I think this is a 6-gallon water container, and it's just strapped in right here. And the drain is like super, super simple. Just the way it all lined up is the output for the sink comes right here. This is a 2.5-gallon container. And that tube, I just let it go all the way to the bottom. Of course, there's a gap at the bottom so the water can actually run out. And this holds it in place. It's not even strapped in. It just happens to be the right size. And when I want to take it out, I can just unscrew that thing, pull it out, and dump it. Very, very, very simple system. My intention is to dump it frequently. I'm not going to let it sit with a bunch of water in there. And then, of course, just over here, I just added a little paper towel holder. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is I wanted this van to function in terms of like cooking and, you know, stuff like that, just as well if you were inside as you would be outside. So, you know, you guys have probably seen this if you saw my other video here. I have this pull-out table area, so, you know, prep area extends out past the van just a little bit. You know, so you could be out here with a pot or a pan, you know, whatever, you know, doing some cooking or cutting up vegetables, whatever you're doing. And then if you want to come over and wash your hands, boom, right here. right? And, you know, of course, I'm gonna put some kitchen stuff here. So I don't know, maybe spices, for example, or something like that. You know, if you needed some spices to go walk around. My point being is you got pretty much everything you need on the outside, but internally, you can access everything just as easily. It seems like with a lot of these setups, you're compromising one or the other. Now, of course, if you were cooking inside, you wouldn't use that back area, but you would use, you know, the counter space or the little flip up table that you have here. So I think it's a pretty good overall system in that sense. I had been talking about the power bank, or the my power setup, probably a little bit bigger than you would expect for a camper like this, but this is where it sits. So it sits off to one side, nice and tight, still leaves all of this stuff open underneath here. And what I did is, if you guys remember me talking about the cradle, is just a piece of hardwood right here, and I drilled a couple holes through, so there's 2 back in there, and I just ran bolts through and attached it over, and the battery sits down there, and the head unit, or kind of a cradle, sits over the top of the battery. And since it's bolted right to the side, you know, this thing isn't moving anywhere. So it's very secure, and I think it looks really, really clean. And of course, you know, this is something that you might take in and out every once in a while. So for example, in the summer, I won't store, unless I'm going on a trip or something, I'm not going to store my lithium battery inside. It just gets too hot out here. But, you know, you just undo the 2 bolts. You know, you have to kind of slide it a little bit, but then you could take apart the head unit, pull that out, take out the battery, and remove the whole thing. And right up here in easy access, you know, I talked about these breakers kind of functioning as switches, so you can see and shut off your solar charge controllers. You can't, let's see if you can see it back down in here, but the main shut off is back here. Even though you can't see it, you can easily reach it with your hand back here, so you could shut off the whole system from there. And then you guys see the solar cables. They're just wrapped around there for now. Depending on how I route the cables in from the solar and everything, which I have not done yet, they'll be easy to attach. And then you have all this space over here. So one other thing I did here is this side. So we had the cabinet comes down. Now, if you guys recall, I'm gonna put a diesel heater underneath here. So I had to figure out a way to hold a couple big bulk items back here. So this is not filled up now, but this would be that, what are these? Are these 5? It's 6 gallon. So I have another one of these 6 gallon things of water. So if I run out underneath the sink, I can just swap them out over here. Like I said, this is going to have the dual solar charge controllers. I'm going to have the external port. So this is my 400 watt suitcase solar panel, which I'll store there. And of course, we have the fuel tank for the diesel heater. Now, this isn't filled up yet. It's not even plugged in. The diesel heater is not installed. I get it. It's not ideal to store this kind of fuel inside. My rationale is really just mostly stealth. Truth be known, I probably won't use this heater hardly at all, if ever. I'm going to put it in because I have it and I want it there. But I'm not a fan of camping in extreme cold, and you know, I've camped up into like the 30s. I'm usually fine with like an electric blanket and things like that, but I have it. One thing I saw a guy do in another video, because obviously smell is a big concern here, is he actually, which is what I will do, is a good idea, he actually attached a vent to this and plumbed it to the outside of the van, which is what I'll do. So when I do get this finally hooked up, I'll have the fuel line hooked up to it, I'll have the vent, but the idea is you could slide this out of place if you were to fill it. So I'm not filling it inside the van that way in case I had a spill or something. And then it'll be stowed for there, but I'm not going to put any diesel in there unless I anticipate using it. All right. Compromise because of stealth, but it is what it is. And then, so what I did is I put that strap there and those strap all around it. And then down here, I created just this little board piece here. It's got a little dowel that I just had, or a big dowel, I guess, that I just had around the shop. And I just put these pieces of wood here to act as support. I threw a little Velcro just to keep it from bouncing around. And then the diesel heater will eventually mount down in this area right down here. So this side, when you lift this up on the other side of the power bank, will be storage. I'll probably have some tools, mostly kind of automotive stuff in there. and then you know, maybe a camp chair or something like that. And then down here will be the diesel heater, but it's you know, it's covered up, and we've got a nice platform here to you know, store all of our stuff. I think it's nice and neat. I showed you guys this before, but in this recess where there's a jump seat, you know, I've got a jump starter and air compressor. I've got my traction boards, got my little triangles, you know, in case I'm breaking down the side of the road. Hopefully not. And a shovel. But yeah, overall, I'm just super happy with how this is coming together. Everything's just coming real clean, fitting in its place just right. I've got a lot of little things to do. I've got some trim and things like that to do. Let's see, what else do I got? Oh, the back window for this, I've got to build I'm gonna build a little insulated cover, so that's blocked off. And then the biggest thing that I'm still contemplating is how I'm going to do lighting in here. Up here, I did put this piece of trim pulled off really easy and had a lot of dead space in there. So I just put in these two little lights here. I'll put those on a dimmer. That will mostly provide light down here if you're working out of the back. It does provide some interior light, but I still need to come up with a few more. So I'm just kind of thinking, I would really like if I could figure out a way to separate all of the interior lights from the battery circuit on the van itself, using those, because they do actually a pretty good job. I mean, heck, even if I had to keep them attached to the van itself, but had like a feature to where I could, I don't know, maybe there's a setting in the van that I'm just not aware of, where you can like manually operate them and they'll say on, you know, I would still add some supplemental light, but I'm gonna be working on this coming week. But anyways, guys, I mean, in a nutshell, this thing's coming together really good. Really excited. I really like how it's coming together, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks at all. And if you're new here, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and positive comments are always appreciated.